Hello riders, it's Jock from CycleHunters.com. Yep, today, if you kind of recognize that color, then you know this is a 2013 Honda CBR 250r, the Repsol edition. So I would say perhaps one of the most popular colorways or liveries that you can get on any bike. It's easily well seen in the wild. Probably one of the most outstanding, like I said, liveries, paint jobs, colorways that you want to look at. This is modeled after their MotoGP bike that has been sponsored by Repsol, which is a Spanish oil company, for a very, very long time. They've had multitudes of riders underneath the banner of the Repsol Honda banner. But what they've done, now they got this in the 600, you can get it in, also the 1000, but this is the 250 version. So if you are a newer rider and you want something that's super cool, that is very easy to ride, very intuitive to ride, and just overall a fun bike, this is the one to get. Sounds great, looks great, it is very unintimidating, and as we get into this, you'll see there are some little tidbits here and there. Probably the coolest thing is the Akrapovic carbon fiber pipe. This has a aftermarket Saddleman seat, so that is extremely comfortable for a sport bike, that is. This also has the Yoshimura frame sliders, has the anodized brake reservoir cover, has the aftermarket levers, actually has an anodized nut on the top, so just a little bit of a color piece right here as well on top of the fill. Pretty much though, that's about it. There are, like I said, little tidbits of neat things, just the colors, the anodized caps, so there's some matching pieces on there, but overall what you're looking at is a very, very clean bike. So we all know these are 249cc single cylinder bikes, electronic fuel injection. This puts I think 26 horsepower and 29 newton meters of torque, I believe, somewhere around there. But you can also see this is kind of like a carbon fiber style in there. That's kind of neat. So little things like that. Very low seat height, so again, somebody that needs to get on a bike that is not very tall, this is a easy bike to ride. You can also get lowering links for these. Pretty much any bike you can do that for and lower it enough, but the problem is when you lower bikes too much, it makes it a little bit more difficult to turn. Now right there is where you can see the link, but that's the stock link, so there's really no need to change it unless, like I said, you're a little vertically challenged maybe and you need some little bit of help. Blemishes on this bike are very, very slim, thankfully, but I don't really see much at all. There's not much to be pointing out other than how really nice this bike is. But this is more of that commuter style, although it is a sports bike and it does have that racy look, and it's modeled after the Honda GP bike. You know, the thing is with these, they're very much a learner style machine. Now this one does have the passenger pegs removed. Oh, you can see the little spool there. If you have a rear stand, this has right there inside there, it's just an RG cover. Satu Hati means one heart, which I believe is on the other side of the bike. So what that is for is when Fukushima happened, their GP team put that on the bike, and they had been running with that for quite some time now, several years that they've been running with that. But everybody knows the Honda reliability, so there's not much you have to worry about with anything like this. If you do your normal regular service, oil changes, and any of that stuff, keep the bike clean. It's going to last you quite a long time. Honda reliability is very well known. There's the other frame slider. Bar ends on this are impeccable. Like I said, there is really not much you can point out as far as I can see of any kind of a blemish. So HRC stickers. Yeah, this is the livery to have. This is the cool one. You know, everybody's got their flavor, but you know, the race replica style is probably the coolest. There's a bunch of bikes out there with race replica liveries, but you know, this is again probably it is probably the most popular style as far as, or the most recognizable one, because it's been around for a very, very long time, for several, probably almost 30 years, maybe even more. But again, you can go back through to the old riders. I believe Mick Doohan had that on his bike. You know, Rossi had it. I mean, Mark Marquez is the latest one, who had now just switched. But, you know, everybody knows this color pattern. So when you get into the dash and the controls, your cockpit, so to speak, this is very basic. So you have a centrally located tack, turn it on, it sets, you have a neutral light, and that's pretty much it. You have your left and your right turn signal that is going to illuminate. You have your high beam, low beam, you have a check engine light in there, and there may be, nope, there is another light spot there, but I can't really tell what that is. I don't know that that is much, if anything, because it doesn't look like there's anything printed on that. It may be there if this bike had traction control, which this one does not. But you can see also that it has the clock and a fuel gauge, which is always welcomed when you're riding, because who wants to run out of fuel when you're riding? I know I don't. Now, your centrally located speedometer is in there as well. You can see this only has 422 miles. That is nothing. And then right underneath that, you have a temperature gauge. So everything is pretty much centrally located, and I do really prefer the analog tacks. Some people just like that old school stuff, and this bike does have that. This also on your left handlebar, basic controls, high beam, low beam, turn signal, left, right, cancel in the middle, and right side, super simple, on, off, and you can hear it priming. And then when you hit this, we're going to hear exactly what that Akrapovic pipe sounds like. I don't know if I have to pull the clutch, but let's check. Nope. Sounds like a thumper. It's got a deep sound to it, nice tone. Akrapovic makes quality pieces. Sharp machine. Well, sounds like a thumper, as you can tell if you've heard single-cylinder bikes with exhausts. Sounds like this. And that sounds really good. See the attack. Now let's go high beam. Low beam, high beam, low beam. That's your left front. This is your right front. Right rear. Left rear. Cancel. This is foot brake. And hand brake. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. You're going to be ripping up the street, cranking that throttle all over the place just to hear that awesome sound. So now, every one of our bikes gets a 48-point checklist. You can see the little battery tender lead sticking out here. So our goal is to make sure that when you get a bike from CycleHunters.com, it's as close as we can make it to a new bike. It's all used, pre-owned, but again, servicing these things, oil filter, it's basic stuff. We go over the charging system. Whatever the bike needs, it gets it. Those tires are pretty much brand new on this one. And really, when you get into it, with such low mileage, everything is in awesome shape. So there's not much you got to do other than jump on it, thumb the starter, just look where you're going and enjoy your ride. And it's really one of the best things to do, is to just enjoy it. These 250s are a lot of fun. I think top speed's about 130 miles on it, but who's doing that? You could take it on the highway if you need to, but going back and forth to work, or just ripping around, tooling around in the twisties, just having fun with friends, that's really what these are all about. And on the other side of it, if you are a new rider, someone that's learning, this is absolutely a great bike to ride. Single cylinders are not very scary, although again, any bike can get away from you, but these are more forgivable. They're a little bit easier to ride. They're lightweight. They're not very heavy when you're tipping them into the turns. So feel very confident that when you get something like this, or a 250, 300, even up to the 4s, these things are going to be really, really geared towards anybody that's newer, trying to learn how to ride, rules of the road. You know, the clutch gas brake relationship is so important to get done correctly, and just to ensure that you have a very easy ride, and understanding that you can keep your head in front of you, your eyes in front of you, and you're not worried about what's going on underneath with the bike, because it's all taken care of. Now, if you're digging this gorgeous 2013 Honda CBR 250r Repsol edition, give us a call at 717-273-1809. You can see our full list of our current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. And we do have some financing options available. We can deliver bikes if you're close enough. We ship them. We have aftermarket warranties available. It really just comes down to, what is it that we need to do to help accommodate you so that a gorgeous bike like this can be sitting in your garage, ready and waiting for whenever the time is right and the weather is good and you feel like riding, because that bike will make you want to ride. Gorgeous looking bike. So again, give us a call, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody. We are a couple days away from Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. We just really want to thank everybody. And then also looking towards the new year, have a very successful and blessed new year. And until the next bike, happy riding.